Hey YouTubers, welcome back to part 2 of carburetor and fuel line repair on your Stihl MS 170, 180, 017 or 018 chainsaw. In this video today I'm going to be reinstalling the carb kit, the fuel line, and then I'm going to try it out to see if it runs good. So I've got my fuel line here. What you need to do at this point is grab this side of the fuel line, insert it into the hole of the fuel tank like this. Then you need to bring it down over here where there's a grommet on the fuel line, point the arrow toward this side, and then insert the grommet into the fuel tank. And after it's lined up like this, you're going to see that the fuel line is going to go right inside the fuel tank. Do not use a screwdriver to reinsert the fuel line because you could easily puncture it and then you have to get a new line. Now what I'm going to do with a wire like this is retrieve the fuel line. Now that you've got the line retrieved, you can spray a little bit of liquid wrench on the line if you want to. This will make it easier to reinstall the fuel filter. Push it down all the way like this, and then reinsert it into the fuel tank. Now what you need to do is reinstall the fuel tank in its hole. Now you're going to want to insert the fuel line underneath here, just like that. And then push the tank as you do this. This will position the fuel line in its proper place. And this is how it should look once it's all installed. Now we can reinstall the recoil and make sure you have both the oil cap and the fuel cap off. And now make sure you've installed the part of the chain brake over top the recoil like this. Now reinstall the 4 torque screws that hold the recoil. There's one over here, and there's a small one that holds the chain brake arm. And you're going to need a T27 torque screwdriver to reinstall these. Now just install your oil and gas caps, and you're all done with the fuel line installation. So now I've got my carb kit. I've got a Zama GND 33. I originally ordered an RB77 because it has all the hardware like the needle, lever, and all that to go in the carb, but my supplier shorted me that kit, so I got the repair kit only. So now I'm going to grab the needle lever. I'm going to put the pin through it like that. Now I'm going to reinstall the spring in the groove down here. Make sure it's standing up like that. And I'm going to hook the needle in the lever. And now I'm going to drop it all in there. This pin here has to go under the screw here. Now tighten up the screw. Now when you look at the carb, you want to make sure that the spring is under the embossed part here of the lever like that. And the lever should be set approximately flush with the face of the carb. On your kit, you're going to notice that there's 2 metering diaphragms like this. If you're not sure which one to use, just simply grab your old diaphragm and match it up with the new one. So I'm going to use this one here. And also use this gasket here with the metering diaphragm. And all you've got left are these 2 here that you're going to use. There's also a spare gasket like this that goes with the other metering diaphragm that we're not going to use. You want to install the gasket right on the carb like that. Next, install the metering diaphragm right above. Line up the holes. Once the holes are lined up like this, you want to insert the cover back on, and the 2 pins go in the holes with no threads. Just like that. And now install the 2 screws that hold the cover. Make sure you tighten up the cover here evenly because you can get an air or fuel leak and your chainsaw is not going to run properly. Now I'm going to turn the carb over to the other side. I'm going to reinstall the little screen I took out previously. Now if you get the RB77 kit, you're going to have a brand new little screen like that in the kit. Now grab a 1/4 inch drill bit, use the dull side to reinsert the screen, simply push down. Next grab the cover for the other side of the carb, install this gasket on it like this, and now you want to reinstall the diaphragm on the cover like that. And remember that the diaphragms only go on in one position because of the little notches there. And now this side of the cover will go on the side of the throttle mechanism over here. So now line it up and reinstall it. Want to make sure that the cover's on flat all around like this. And now reinstall the center screw right here. And now your carburetor is ready to be reinstalled on your chainsaw.